All right, so there was a comment on one of my videos from my original Styles channel, right? And apparently I am unhinged. I'm unhinged, all right? My views are the way they are for a reason. If my life would have turned out the way how I thought it would have, or at least the redemption of it would have, then I wouldn't have been as unhinged, all right? Like, seriously. I personally believe if my life turned out the way it was supposed to, then I wouldn't have been so unhinged. So I am the way I am for a reason. It's not my fault, all right? My life was a complete lie. I don't have a family anymore. There's no more structure in my life. And because of that, I'm adopting views in ways, not as a coping mechanism, but as a way to fix what's broken, all right? So I am the way I am, and that's just the way it is for now, at least. Like, I'm not understanding. To me, most of the things I think and believe or make sense, all right? No ifs, ands, or buts is Christianity. That's a core part of my identity. So that's unchangeable, all right? That's all clear, whatever. That's unchangeable, all right? My Christianity is not a coping mechanism or whatever. It's not. I was born and raised in Christianity, and even after my entire, family structure is gone, I am still a Christian, and I'm gonna die one, all right? I'm gonna die on here being a Christian. Me being a Christian is absolutely not a coping mechanism, all right? However, if I wasn't one, I would have been at myself. It's a long time ago, all right? Yeah, but anyways, the idea I am unhinged just because I don't fit the social norms, it doesn't make sense to me. By default, I'm already outside of the social norms because, one, my parents aren't together. Two, I'm broke. And three, my brain is wired a different way, all right? If I am indeed autistic, that would explain a lot of things, all right? Again, it's not my fault I am the way I am, all right? Even if I was autistic, it technically still doesn't matter. The point is, if there was structure in my life, then I would have been more conforming to normie culture, all right? Because the most normal I have ever been was when I was 16 years old. And I'm not gonna lie, it was a great experience, all right? My sophomore year of my high school was the best year of high school, all right? I was the most socially accepted, the most socially normal person, all right? I was into the trends. Well, in 2016, with the whole dab thing, that, oh my gosh, those are days. Well, those were days, but that, the mannequin challenge and all that stuff, they go all that stuff again. So yeah, I was really up into the trends. Obviously clear I didn't have the money and junk like that. I really wanted, because they was my, high school peers, they were trying to figure out why I wasn't, buying a bunch of shit, like them, and why I didn't have an iPhone and everything. So there was those questions, but somehow the way I carried myself in 2016, really did, I somehow fit it in. I fit it in the most when I was 16 years old. So I guess you could say more or less I peaked in high school, all right? But that's the thing. In 2016, I was just simply above average. I wasn't a popular kid. Nuh-uh. I was just liked and accepted and, for the most part, fit in at the time, all right? Because in 2016, for whatever reason, I thought life was a little bit perfect, okay? I wake up, well, to be fair, at home, it was a lot of shit. Even though this was during my childhood era, all right? My childhood family era. It was still a lot of shit going on, but, like, when I was 16 years old in sophomore year of high school, whatever reason, at home, I guess, I don't know, my family was just so nice. We were all cool with each other. Well, for the most part, cool with each other. There were a lot of bogus shit happening in my childhood family, when we first moved to that city outskirts of Chicago, yes, there was a lot of shit happening during that time. And I wasn't even having the shit at the time, because that's when I started to speak my mind, because I was getting sick of the hypocrisies with the the fake authorities or whatever, fake authorities in the house. But anyways, in 2016, this is why I feel like my family was so great. The teen years of my childhood family was so peak and was so great, because every single Sunday we was going to the church. Apparently we were so Kojic at the time, or whatever, but we was non-denominational technically, but we were so Kojic back in the day, so Kojic. We had a lot of audience coming to the church in my childhood ministry, because my entire family heavily served in my childhood ministry at the time. My childhood father and my childhood pastor, they were like this. They were really close and everything. So they were preaching. The childhood pastor was preaching his sermons or whatever. The first lady, they were so great or whatever. Apparently they were such a beautiful couple, blah blah blah. The church setting was just so perfect. Every single week I'm operating the camera, because I'm part of the production team or whatever. I'm part of the production team, providing just specifically the camera work and everything, and then doing cleaning up and all that junk. I'm just I'm doing it great with little to no problems with the pastor, and my childhood father at the time. Everything was cool and great and everything, and I thought I was such a great Christian, because I wasn't sinning as much. The sin I'm referring to is lust, because in 2016, that's when I used to what I'm trying to say, touch myself, and I'll hold up. So yeah, oh my gosh, hold up, oh my gosh, that's so nasty. I'm so sorry. All right, sorry I had to see that, but yeah, the church was going so great, production was doing great, on TV, on CAN TV at the time. We were just really, a whole lot of people was visiting or was serving at the church online. Then we were bringing food at the church. The times were really nice. All right, it was really nice at the time. And then once we finally finished serving in the church, we go to a family dinner after church. Not Golden Corral, because I know a lot of black churches like to go to Golden Corral after church, but we didn't go there. We went to other restaurants and stuff like that. That's the fourth time I said that, I think. But yeah. It was just great. And that time, specifically that time when the pastor, my childhood pastor at the time, was talking about sexual sins. Obviously, I'm feeling convicted and everything about it, because I was in my, I was exploring my body as a 16-year-old and everything. I remember one time, I don't know why in the world he did that, and yeah, I don't talk too much, but I don't know why in the world he did that. But apparently, I guess he was really feeling very because that's the thing. At the time, we all believe that it was we are in the end times, but we believe that at least from how I perceived it, we were literally in the end times, and we was thinking that the rapture was gonna happen way sooner than later, which it is. But from my perspective, in 2016, I really thought that we really was gonna go. Jesus was gonna come back, and I was very much afraid of being left behind at the time when I was 16. So I really was trying to cut off my me exploring my body as a teenager and stuff like that. You know what I'm referring to? MO, not PMO, because pornography was not really a thing. Man, I'm not gonna lie, those were the days. My early nuts, those were the days. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. This October of this year will be the 10th year anniversary of me doing that junk. But anyways, I remember one time the childhood pastor, he really, I don't know why, but he was having everybody come up to the mic to tell their to tell their testimonies of being delivered from sexual sins. Most people did go up to the mic embarrassing themselves and everything. I didn't go up on that mic. Yes, I was convicted, and that's a good thing. That's the Holy Spirit. But at the same time, it was also to me personally, now I see it this way. It was also, okay, hold up. Let me get there, all right? Everybody was telling their sexual sins and how God delivered them for it and everything, and now they're saved, full of the Holy Ghost and everything. Everybody going to heaven. I didn't. And then later on, my childhood father at the time asked me, why didn't you go up to the mic, right? Everybody else there, why didn't you go up there? I was like, well, I'm struggling with lust. Well, you better cut that out. It's a sin against God and everything. And obviously, I'm feeling so bad and everything, thinking I'm going to hell because I really did rely on my parents and my childhood pastor at the time to determine if I was going to heaven or not. All right, so because the way how my childhood pastor preached it, and the way how my childhood father at the time enforced what he was being taught under his childhood pastor or whatever, under the, you know what I'm trying to say. I really thought I was going to hell and everything. So, but this is the thing. I personally, like I said, the main reason why I did not go up to that mic to say God deliver me from sexual sin, specifically touching myself, because I'm a 16-year-old kid, for the love of God. Anyways, oh my gosh, that's a 2600 series rail car. But anyways, going back on topic, it's mainly because I was not going to lie. I wasn't going to lie to the whole entire congregation in the Lord. All right, I was being honest with God that, obviously, I mean, to be fair, I understand, yes, we should not, no lusting and everything, but at the same time, I was a kid. So anyways, I believe me not going up to the mic was an act of the Holy Spirit, because he knew I was not going to lie. He felt that God, the Lord, would not tempt us in more than we can bear. So he did not have, I feel like personally, me not going up to the mic was an extension of the Holy Spirit, because he knew I did not want to lie, because he knew I was very much insecure in my salvation. All right. So yeah, anyways, going past all the bad part, but once all that, sexual sin stuff, and then I somehow managed to make it to a whole entire month of NoFap when I was 16 years old, I really thought I was super saved. I was just super Christian. My family were saved and everything. We cool. I was preaching the gospel in school, whatever. And I think that was the time when I said to one of my high school classmates, if you're watching this video, when I said, technically I'm not supposed to be friends with someone gay. So I said that apparently, and then obviously, I can't believe you said that. I just lost all respect for you. Did I ever apologize that day? I don't remember if I apologized that day. That I said that thing or whatever because I really thought I was doing the right thing as a Christian. So I really felt like everything was structured and everything. So then, going past all of that, I really thought I had a bunch of family structure, all right? I thought I had a good church structure, and then I thought I had such great friends in school, and then my YouTube channel at the time was so great. It was just so great, all right? It was just so great at the time. 2016 was a good year, mentally for the most part, and, objectively. I don't want to say physically, but 2016 was a good year, all right? So now, fast forward up to 2020, all right? Fast forward to 2020, when the news been brought to my attention that my family was going to get divorced, all right? My childhood family was going to get divorced, all right? When that happened, obviously, I'm thinking everything like I was, mad at my childhood parents and everything because they're about to get divorced and everything that happened, blah, blah, blah. So, but this is the thing. I was ready for either outcome, all right? Because in 2016, that same year, I had such a great time that year, I had an intrusive thought of what if my childhood parents get divorced? That ain't gonna happen because it'll ruin the entire ministry because we served in this ministry for a long time. They ain't gonna get divorced. Boy, I was proven wrong. This train was sitting here for a while. Yeah, the blocks ahead must be uncleared, must be occupied. But anyways, my childhood parents, they're indeed divorced. Once they officially divorced, that's the thing I thought. That's when I moved to Atlanta because at the time my childhood parents were trying to work it out, but it was not working. So in September 2021, they officially divorced, all right? They officially divorced. So then from that moment, I really thought, all right, they're divorced. It is what it is. They made their choices, whatever. I've technically been through a divorce before when the train has been dispatched. So yeah, it's gone now. But yeah, They've been divorced. All right, I've been through it before when I was 3 years old, so no big deal. I won't complain. But this is the thing. My post-childhood parents were not getting along, all right? My childhood parents have unfortunately ascended, or their titles have been now shifted to post-childhood parents now. Post-childhood parents now. Post-divorce parents. Post-divorce childhood parents. That's what I mean by post, okay? Post. So now they're hating each other, and then that's when I was around mid 2022. That's when I was introduced to my modern parents. All right, they just now start dating. All right, okay, all right. I knew this was bound to happen, so there's that. So now I'm now living with my modern family at the time. We were just there, whatever. I left. I just let my post-childhood family do whatever they do, whatever. I'm now in with my modern family, former now. So during that entire time, I thought things was gonna be great and create some peace treaty between my post-childhood parents and my modern parents at the time, but that just was not happening. I really was trying hard to get my childhood parents, my post-childhood parents and my modern parents to get along, but they just refused to do it. They were terrible co-parents, all right? And then that's the part when they was pushing their own insecurities on me, their own terms and conditions and insecurities on me to cut my post-childhood parents off. That was really stressing me out. And then eventually I started to realize, okay, maybe I might be forcing things a little bit. I might actually be a problem, all right? And then eventually, even when I admit that, and I wasn't trying to force any kind of communications because they wanted to cut each other off and stuff like that. That's the 5th time I said that. Yeah, and then all the extra stuff that was going on, that comparing all of my parents, it was sucking. And then how my modern parents at the time was not getting along, my childhood parents wasn't getting along, and my biological parents wasn't getting along. I was like, this is a complete shit show. What the fuck is this? And then I have come to a conclusion that I have absolutely no structure. And then my family at the time was not getting along. The church was no longer in service as well, so was no longer operating. The church was no longer operating. None of my families was operating. There's no peace treaties. So I'm like, where am I? I'm by myself. I'm on my own. I have no familial support. Because they're constantly calling me all kinds of name callings or whatever, projecting all their insecurities on me. Most of them. Well, not most of them. A lot of them, specifically the post-childhood family / oh my gosh, a 2600 lead train. Blue line train. That's rare. But anyways, yeah, so there's that. During that entire time, that's when I created my original Styles channel. And I was, explaining everything, what was going on and everything. Most of those videos are still up. All right, I think I deleted a very few of them. So I was explaining y'all, ranting and everything. So, and yeah, that's pretty much everything to why I am so unhinged, okay? Like, the main reason why I sound so unhinged specifically on that channel, my original Styles channel, is because there was no structure in my life. There was no structure. It was complete chaos. So I had nobody to talk to, so I had to vent. And that's when I made these channels, okay? So there's that. Like I said, I never intended for my original Styles channel to become so, me venting and everything. I never intended for that to happen. I intended to, to be produced videos or whatever. I never intended to that. Because originally I was posting my rants on my Twitter. But, eventually I put it on YouTube because I was having problems with Twitter. Because, Twitter compression and, video limitations. But, yeah. And that's pretty much the whole reason why I am so unhinged, okay? As far as my personal beliefs on Christianity and Christianity, politics, my takes or whatever on interracial and all that stuff, that's the 6th time I said all this stuff. This is 6th in sign language, by the way. Yeah. It just happened over time. if my life, if my, notice how my parents divorcing, specifically my childhood parents divorcing played a huge role in on the reason why I am the way I am now, okay? It played a huge role. I thought I wasn't as affected with my childhood parents divorcing. I thought I was, but I clearly wasn't. And now it's biting me back even today, all right? Because now, me moving out of my former modern parents, that really set the tone of me stop worrying depending on my parents. So since my parents are completely chaotic and my families keep shifting, so I made the decision to move out. And I am so glad I moved out, because a few months after, they got divorced. They separated. So I feel like me leaving was an act of God protecting me. Because I did not respond. I did not respond well hearing that my modern parents even didn't work out. I had a feeling that they wasn't going to work out, but because I definitely saw the signs, and I was not surprised, but at the same time, I still did not react to it properly. I wish I didn't get so emotional that day when the news was brought to my attention, but I'm just saying, it is what it is, because the whole point is there's no structure. And I guess that's probably why I got so emotional that day when it was brought to my attention that my modern parents are no longer together. So yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm glad it's been cut off sooner than later, because that itself is an act of God, because I saw it happening. But I'm just saying, God did whatever he needed to do to protect me. So he used my, insecurities at the time to get out the house. He used my emotions at the time for me to get out and leave that household, because I really need to, because it was so toxic in my former modern parents, all right? And now I'm at the second edition of my post-childhood parents, all right? It's just the way it is, I'm just back with my post-childhood parents, and that's just the way it is. So there's no structure. So what more can I do? Well, that's the gambit, y'all. In conclusion, that's pretty much the whole reason why I am so, unhinged or whatever. It's because my entire life I was given this image of stability and structure, all right? So now that entire structure is being knocked down. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do now, all right? So now, I guess you can say I'm finding a coping mechanism to fix this. But I can't rely on parents. I can't rely on family. So I think I know what I need to do. I know exactly what I need to do now. For the most part, at least the basics of it, I know what I need to do. But like I said, that's why I made a whole entire video. I don't have a family. All right, I will need to make a video called I don't have parents, because I really don't. Because retiring all of them is going to be extremely tough. But yeah, I 100% cut it off my former modern father at the time. So farewell. Wish the best of luck for you. I highly doubt he's going to see this video, but I don't really care, and I kind of don't want him to. I mean, I don't want to talk about him. So yeah, I fully cut him off and everything. So there's that. But yeah, that's the gambit. That's why I'm so unhinged. It is what it is, If you were from the original Styles channel, thanks for coming to this channel, because YouTube shadow banned my other channel. Those other videos, they are still on the channel. Most of them are not deleted. They're just unlisted. You have to find it. If you know how to navigate YouTube, navigate it. Stop being lazy, okay? Most of them videos are still there. But I might review them and might delete them, so just keep an eye on that. So yeah, but some videos cannot be replicated. That's why they're still up. But that's the gambit. I'm done talking. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.